See, there are lots of things that make sense in this world, like math, though I don't understand math, um, like words, which I understand a little better, like science, which in some respects I understand, and in some respects is complete Greek to me. But I know there's one thing that for everyone is confusing, and that is the concept of love. And I'm not talking about love, I'm talking about the concept of it, which you would think would be the same thing, but it's really not. See, to me, the concept of love is the idea that forms in our heads about that person whom we feel the feeling for. But it really, you can't just have the feeling. You need to have an idea about the feeling. We live as humans to perpetuate ideas about things, ideas about politics, ideas about agriculture, ideas about love. And you see, for everyone, that idea is different, and yet equally valid, which is strange. And I mean, I guess you could say the same thing for English, which is made up of symbols, and you know, there are lots of different ways you can interpret something, but in love it's even harder to place, which is why I've always had qualms about writing love poems, pieces about love, things like that. But here's one that I think is okay. It's called Broken Muscle, because I am Mr. Happy all the time, and yeah, sarcasm. Ready? Okay. I see her face and no other face. This cloud, this apparent cloud of people on the street. I've seen the rapport of young and old, of old and old, and young and young. I see the figments of the schemes by which they live. I see the seeming portals of little attitudes through which each human passes, reaction to reaction, slaving to reach the numbering platitudes of contentions or gratifications between simplicities and complexities, and also at the farthest ends of both, just once attained and again a different way, depending on the figment to be approached. And yet to me her shadow in it all stays more or less the same. Yeah. Written in the phlegmatic glory beneath each face, through to the palette, the nakedest palette of this cloud of equipages. They all of them contain the figure of her miracle. She is there and soon departs, only to be revealed again, this time. The spare foundations of her eyes is there. Behind all eyes there are to see this happy delusion held aloft by the crumbling scuds of recollection. Yeah. I find the imprint of her glance traipsing in the active mold, the sequence of another's look. In unfinished residuum find the delicate planet of her sacrosanct. Surprising, it is made a stronger memory by the tragic perpetuity of this broken muscle. This device that grows abnormal, growing more and more abnormal by the baud of feckless years undone, stutters with growing spavination under the prison of my crooked ribs. In the sty of these assembled guts, I feel her pretty heat. I don't know what any of you could glean from that. I'm not even sure what I can glean from it. I guess it's just people live out their lives and do their own thing. Sometimes what you thought was important was equally important to you as it was to someone else. It ends up being vastly more important to you than to that someone else. You know? It ends up being nothing at all to that someone else. I mean, sometimes you just do stuff, and that's it. Sometimes you can't fix things. And that's hard to accept because we live to fix things. Well, that's one of the reasons we live. We strive to acquire an equilibrium, I guess, a balance, yixing, all that jazz. But it's almost an alien feeling when someone, when you think that you're like-minded with someone else, and then end up not knowing them at all. I mean, true love, catastrophe. I know nothing of it. I wish to know even less than that. Pain, a curse on the body and the mind, stupidity, selfishness, contempt for your fellow man, true love, a contradiction, an unreachable source, contradicting itself always. It is never finished, only begun over and over until it dies. True love, coy love, curse on the senses. It enraptures and overstimulates. It denies what rightfully belongs to it in the hopes that something better comes along. True love, the only true thing. The connection between two bodies does not sustain. We make it sustain. We breathe. We tell secrets, sweet nothings. So much yet so little to take away. That is, everything. We dignify the act of sex. It speaks to how desperate we are for answers that we think we can find in another person. We can. We can only find those answers for as long as we are with that person, though. Once that person is gone, so is the answer. I will not make one up in solitude. Cannot do this. Do not wish to do this. True love, a beautiful thing, a hard thing. It is hard and beautiful. It is only beautiful. It is not hard. It is not bad. It is only grace tenfold. It is the wonder of the self, found in another body, another soul to shape the clay and gratify and touch and feel and assist at the point when lust becomes ravenous, only to delve back down the throat and smithereen the heart. The heart beats tenfold. True love, loss, despair, utter despair, unceasing. Yes, always my heart shall beat tenfold faster. The world louder. The cancer spreading until I die of love. True love, that which repeats itself in frustration, in hope that less will come of it, and yet it remains just as powerful. No regrets. An infinite wealth of pain awaits me. I greet the pain. I shake the hand of pain. I regret nothing. I will go on regretting nothing as the cancer spreads. True love. Consumption and death, made to breathe life from the tubers. It grows and grows, and afterwards we look upon what had been life before the event of love, and find that life did not exist before that moment. The moment of inception of love and life, beautiful life, expressed falsely, expressed well but falsely. No regrets afterward, no life afterward, no life before. Merely the instant is there, extending into the months. Supernova, creation and destruction, true love, a destruction of truth, a stripping down of all the lofty creations of an absent silhouette of a man who breeds now only himself out of a creature that had provided so much happiness. True love, happiness, two different things. Love is not happiness, it is... That's what love is. And nothing. And nothing but everything in the world. And every feeble attempt to describe this chimera is useless. True love, useless. Love is kind. It is we who are wretched. Thank you. And,